Hey, hits and putting them on the radio for you to hear. All underground all the time, baby. You know how we do it. Diamond Life Radio, the lit way, right? Eat, baby.
You're tuned in to Diamond Life Radio, where we play all underground.
Just the 80 baby favorite artist was Michael Jackson. Everybody had the black or red zipper jacket, hit the candy lady. I'm spinning all my books, trying to impress these nappy-headed hoes and such. Should have been seen, hey, on GTV. Wealthy records, still a Diamond Life world of me. Maximilian in the heart of Houston, DJ of the streets. What about me? Killer make the unseen scene. Visions the dreams, believe you can do anything. Radio plays, interviewers, all of the greats. They hating, talking down out them diamonds in their face. They hating, talking down out them diamonds in their face. Call it black so connected, can't do nothing but respect it. It's a Black Panther party out in Houston, Texas. Riding with the vibes, they never lie. Real, recognize real every time.
It's your girl Carly Black. You're tuned in to Diamond Life Radio. It's your girl Carly Black, and you're tuned in to Diamond Life Radio. You're tuned in to Diamond Life Radio. All underground, all the time. Check us out at www.diamondliferadio.live.
Shout out to my sister, man. Shout out FLC. Shout out DJ Mac for putting me on. Shout out UT4. Shout out to all them niggas out there, man. Yeah, we vibe. We gon' take a little ride. Get a little high. Feeling like X-rated, little baby. I'ma go and pour a 4 inside this cup and make me crazy. Yeah, these niggas hating on me cause a young nigga faded. I'ma get to this bag and if a nigga try to stop me, I'ma get to this bag and if a nigga try to stop me, I'ma pull up on the block and have a nigga miss like Rocket. We don't fuck around with lanes, yeah, you know my niggas. We don't fuck around with lanes, yeah, you know my niggas gang. We gon' pull up and make them sing, so yeah, you know we finna get high. Vibing. Shout out Diamond Life Radio too, man.
Yeah. DJ Max brought me in the building. You already know I'm slow rolling, I'm killing. Put that syrup in that drink. I'm from H-Town, man. Tell me what you think. I'm on my shit and I can't quit. I told them I keep it lit. Fire straight up out the pit. I do this shit, I admit. I do this shit for my city and for the weak, nigga. I don't show no pity, they envy, I get it in. I remember trapping in the den. I remember trapping in the wind. I remember when I came from nothing, just like my mama, nigga, fuck my daddy, yeah. I remember when I came from nothing, just like my mama, nigga, fuck my daddy, yeah. I'm smart. I remember when I came from nothing, just like my mama, nigga, fuck my daddy, yeah. I'm stunting. I'ma get it harder than ever. Hey, I'ma just really get to the cheddar. No side homestead, nigga, I'm H. No side homestead, nigga, I'm no side homestead, nigga, I'm HG. And I'ma do this shit, my nigga, I feel free. Mine, and no wonder telepathy. Real talk, hey boy, I been a key. UT, don't forget the coin. UT, don't forget the coin. UT, Don't forget the coin. I'm in the city, my nigga. I do this shit, I take it by the storm. I'm fucking these bitches, nigga, like porn. And they gon' hit me across the world, nigga, just like a horn. I admit, nigga, I'm the shit, nigga. Work gang, nigga, yeah, that's the click, nigga.
What's the deal? It's Diamond Life Radio. Your girl Cardi Black in the building with my girls,
Ray Little and Angel.
And Miss Tyra joining us on the phone.
Hello.
How you doing, Miss Tyra?
I'm wonderful. How are you all doing?
I'm good. First of all, I would like to thank you. For y'all who don't know or not familiar with Miss Tyra, she is one of my, what I consider to be a master teacher. She teaches me a lot. I learned a lot from her in this short time. I say the last 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I learned a lot, a whole lot. And I really, really thank you. And I need you to know and to pass some of that wisdom on to my sisters and the listeners.
I would love to do that. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you for being a part of my community.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so can you introduce yourselves to those who are not familiar with you?
Yes, my name is Tyra. I also go by Omilade, which is my spiritual name. I love helping women align with their life purpose so that using ancient wisdom so that they live the amazing lives that they know that they deserve. And it's all about doing this with courage and confidence.
Oh,
I am a twice initiated priestess, and I just feel it's my mission to share wisdom, to help women to understand how to apply the wisdom, to live with the cycles of the cycles of the universe, as well as understanding a goddess-centered way. It's time for us to return to the traditions of the women who came before us. And I don't feel that it's necessary for women to live distracted, disempowered. We're powerful. We need to operate from that place. We need to be happy. We need to be able to just full on live in our lives. And so that's what I'm all about.
All right.
Amen. Thank you.
All right. So, what is some basic wisdom, like the basic thing that you would tell the ladies that are tuned in?
The first thing I would say is to know who you are. That is one of the most foundational pieces of operating from an empowered place. And so there's 4 keys to self-mastery that I love to share with people. And one of the first keys is, or one of the main keys is awareness. Know who you are. If you think that you're your body, then that's going to put you in a place where you're not necessarily going to be able to access all parts of yourself. So it's so important for women to know who they are, to understand how have you been programmed. And another way that I say it is we have to look at, has anyone tried to tame us? And if they have, it's time for us to completely and totally bust through any of that programming, bust through labels, bust through limits, bust through wounding. And some of that comes from us having to do the work of understanding it's there so that we can actually step outside of it. So I would say definitely operate from a place of awareness. Use this power tool is what I call it, awareness. The next thing that I would like to tell people is to be devoted to knowing who you are. Be devoted to your destiny. Never let anything stop you from working relentlessly on expressing your gifts, expressing your talents to the world. And so we have to embody this energy of devotion. Next, I would say ritual. With ritual, it's all about understanding that we are magical beings as feminine beings. And so it's so important for us to make sure, for instance, today is the new moon day. To understand what is the new moon in Virgo. I love Virgo.
Yes.
I know Virgos get such a bad reputation because they're going to ride your butt. Let me put it that way. They're going to ride your butt, and they're going to make sure you get everything done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the new moon in Virgo. And so what does that mean? How do we maximize the energy of the new moon? Well, it's through ritual. Or every day we need to have a ritual that will help us to unite with the goddess within, with the power within. There's so much power in ritual. And it all stems from, for instance, what rituals work for you. I don't necessarily have to prescribe them to you. I can tell you different rituals to try, but women are so creative. We are born to create, actually. Mm-hmm. And so we can create whatever rituals we need in order to help us to maximize the wisdom, the power within, all that kind of good stuff, tapping the power within. So I would say also, make sure you have a ritual life. And lastly, faith. Faith is certainty, moving through life with certainty because you know who you are. You're devoted to your destiny. You have these rituals that help to unleash the power within. Faith allows us to move forward with certainty of success. And faith is, it's literally a power tool by which we can operate also. Because it means that we are going to take action. We're no longer going to stay stuck. So many of the goddesses that I work with, they feel like they're stuck. Well, when you have faith, because you understand the divine nature, the divine laws of the universe, you're a force. And so it's so important for us to make sure that we, operate from this place of faith, not religion, certainty of our power. So that's like a foundation that I like to share.
Okay. AZL is in the chat room. Shout out to AZL. Hello. Okay, so you mentioned earlier, you said, you mentioned ritual, and we are magical beings. So the slogan, Black Girl Magic, is kind of, there is a level of truth to that. Am I correct?
It's absolute truth.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Amen.
Swish. Oh. Amen. Right, where your sound effects, man. Okay, so mentioning too, along with the ritual, and you were mentioning the new moon and Venus. Can you go into detail what the new moon entails, and then what it being in each, not necessarily just breaking down each phase or each planetary alignment that it comes into contact with, but just some of the different types of changes that the different moon phases and the different planetary alignments could have an effect on us. Can you break that down for us?
Perfect. Yes. Okay. So the new moon is the phase where we set our intentions. We plant the seeds for what it is that we desire to manifest. The new moon is dark, so you can consider it to be the soil. Think of planting the seeds in the dark soil, the dark, rich soil.
Okay.
So we leave from the new moon and we go into what is called the waxing moon. The moon is growing because the moon it represents just that perfect cycle, and it goes from month to month. So it represents plant the seeds grow. There's the harvest at the full moon. Right after the full moon, the waning phase is where we start clearing the land so that we can plant the seed again. So we plant the seed at the new moon. From the new moon to the full moon is when we are operating from that faith, which means we're taking action.
So that's like the growing phase, right?
It's the growing phase of the moon.
Okay.
And see, the moon gives energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
See, when the moon is new, it's dark. You can't see it. It doesn't have a lot of energy. But then as soon as we can start seeing that crescent moon, that's when we start taking action. And that waxing moon phase, that growing moon, it's giving energy to what we're doing. And to the point where when we get to the full moon, we may see the progress that we're making, or we may actually see the full-on manifestation of what we planted at the new moon. And so then once we get to the full moon will highlight whatever it is that we are manifesting, or it will highlight what stopped us from manifesting what we wanted.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we will experience, there is something in us, and it comes back to that awareness. There's something in us that will prevent us from manifesting what it is that we want. Or maybe our spirit is like, hey, you need to get healed up in this way. And so that's what the full moon will highlight for us also. So then once we see what gets highlighted, then as we start going into the waning phase where the moon is getting smaller and going to darkness, then that's when we can start doing releasing rituals. That's when we can start releasing and letting go. So a lot of times, so many of the women that I work with, there is somebody who hurt them in the past. It could be 20 years ago, and it's still affecting them.
Yes.
They have a relationship that they know they need to let go of. They just cannot move from this place. So when the moon is getting smaller, the energy is so potent and powerful for releasing things. Or maybe there's a behavior that we need to release, attachments to things. So then that's what we do in the waning moon phase. And so as feminine beings and with Black Girl Magic, part of that comes from understanding the cycle. And if all we did was just sort of work with the cycle of the moon, oh my God, we will really see how magical we are. A lot of us, let's say I'm planting seeds in the waning phase, waning moon phase. That's when the moon is losing energy and it's getting weaker and weaker. But that's when I'm trying to start something new. That's why we need to be aware of these cycles so that we don't work against ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. It makes absolute sense.
Good.
I have a question too. Okay, so you know when you happen to be looking at your birth chart, right? Okay, so you know there's your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, and your conjunctions and all of this, all of this, right? Okay,
yes.
So does the moon sign affect or have more of a effect on a person's character versus their sun sign, or how do you feel about that?
Well, the moon sign is about how we feel inside, and it's about what brings us comfort. And so, especially for us feminine beings, that moon is so important because it really and truly, we're such feeling beings. I'll put it that way. We're such feeling beings. And so that moon sign is where we will find a lot of comfort, but it's also how we will be able to make things manifest. So if you have an earthy moon, you know, you're going to be about material manifestation. If you have a watery moon, which would be like Pisces or Cancer, Scorpio, you might be super intuitive. So it really helps you to kind of understand your nature. There's some women that's just more materialistic. That's just who they are. That's where their moon is. If you have a more fiery moon, these are women who might be a little bit, you know, more upfront. They might be a little more forward. You know, we give those sisters a hard time. The sisters who got the fire.
Okay,
like,
okay. So question, because I have Gemini in my moon sign, and I really don't cut for Gemini people like that.
Okay, well, you should do that.
I really don't, because like Gemini characteristics are really, 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 you know. But I kind of see too where it says, that's how you see yourself, because I can see like where I may be like kind of two-faced to myself,
Well, let me ask you this: with the moon in Gemini, are you the type of person that really values conversation?
Yes.
That's what that moon is saying, that you would love to have in your relationships. You need conversation. Like if somebody stonewalls you, you're not gonna like that.
Yeah. You gotta
That's what that moon would be saying. That's the
only way that we gonna have a successful relationship anyway. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we got to talk whatever it is, regardless of whether it's business relationships or personal relationships, you got to talk,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what that moon is saying. So the ones
that's
that
what I'm saying. Because everybody is for me, sister. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, indeed. Y'all got any questions for the beautiful goddess?
I mean,
yes. Any questions?
I don't even know what to ask. There's so much like information overload now. It's like all the questions that I had before, it's like they all coming to the forefront now. Like, I'm like, wait.
Hold on, wait. First of all, one of y'all at a time, right? Okay.
I guess. Can you speak more on spiritual names? Like, where does that come from, or how do we figure that out? How do we figure out our spiritual name?
I think it's different for, whatever path that you're on. So I'll tell you a little bit about my path. Mm-hmm. I have initiated into an African tradition. It is called Ifa, is what I call it, out of Nigeria.
Okay.
And so oftentimes when we initiate into Ifa, we get a spiritual name. Mm-hmm. And typically the priest or the priestess who you're initiating with will give you the name.
Gotcha.
So the first time I did a reading or got a reading from a priest and a priestess, they were like, hey, you want to know your name? I wasn't initiated or anything.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, sure. And so they gave me the name Oshun Dele.
Oshun Dele.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it means Oshun came to the house. The priestess said Oshun came to the house when I was born, which was basically to the hospital, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
Amen.
And so,
wow.
Once I'm
ready to get initiated.
Right?
Yeah.
I said, I'm ready to get initiated.
She heard it the first time.
I actually plan on doing some Eleke initiations pretty soon. And I do make sure everybody gets their name when they get initiated. Because when I got my Eleke, the name that I got was Olufemi. And that name means God loves me.
Yes,
and then once I initiated as a priestess, I got another name. Now I carried that name Olufemi. I went by Olufemi more than I went through by Oshun Dele. So once I initiated, I probably had that name. Oh my gosh, I had that name for like 14 years, something like that. And I was like, I need a fresh new start. So once I initiated, they told me my name was Omilade. And Omilade is something about, royalty is here in the form of Yemoja, which is my Orisha. So in the Orisha tradition, you have a primary Orisha that you work with. And my primary Orisha is the goddess Yemoja. She has to do with motherhood, the waters of the world.
That's
very healing.
That's me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my Orisha.
Yeah, I actually when I first bought my baths and my little set or whatever, I burned it in like my candle. I still have the wax that burned off, and it looks just like water. So I got a lot of kids, and I always end up around kids and taking care of everybody and cooking and feeding everybody. And
oh my gosh!
Yeah, so definitely, yeah.
Yes.
And
but you could get a name from Native America. Native American names. Like I just feel like I had a name come to me, Buffalo Woman.
Oh yeah.
Or
it totally matches because we even have like a Black Panther chapter. It matches definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
So you can pick a name from whatever
Yes.
tradition you want, or maybe they give names. I have a friend who is a Kundalini yoga instructor. She has a name from that tradition. So yeah, I say get one.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yes, because in my side, we're more Native American. And before my grandmother passed, I had the opportunity to ask as many questions as I could, what she could remember. And it was amazing what you find out.
Yeah.
And then my dad did the ancestry thing. Like I had explained to Carlisha, and my dad clicked the leaf and he said it took them all the way back to North Carolina. So when you do your research on some of the tribes and their movement, it amazes you to actually see that to a sense confirmed, you know. And so for me, that's more of a pull for me, yes, for that Native American. And I'm new to, you know, I'm a baby here. So,
Yeah.
you know, and being with Carlisha, she has really opened up to my eyes to a lot of things that I've always felt, but I just wasn't sure. And so for her to really encourage me to open that door to research and really dig deeper. So I appreciate you for that.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome,
you.
baby girl.
And I always tell her,
I feel like that's what I'm here for.
our spirits have always been connected. It was just, you know, physically meeting and confirming that. And so, like I
Definitely.
told her, we're forever linked. I don't care
Yeah,
what nobody say.
always.
Especially Ray too. It's like I feel like we were sisters in the whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
Uh,
And
I
it's
kind of
rare.
like this three bunch here. I kind of feel like the Charm Sisters. Like when we linked up and we were all in the rooms together, it was like the Charm Sisters kind of feeling.
More so three the hard way.
Oh, she
But
said
yeah.
through the hard way, but yeah, we'll take that one too. We'll definitely take that one
But
through the hard way.
you could feel the love in the room and all the encouragement. So,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's rare when you have ladies of different backgrounds can come together, you know, and feel the love and try to spread that to everyone else. Because again, they always say, you know, 3 black women can't come together and work together in positivity, and we're trying to prove that wrong because, you know, we appreciate each other because I love it. Come, please check me when I'm out of line.
Oh no, you know, stop playing.
And she will call me. It's like I'll take it out of my head. She'll call me like, Angel, I don't know what you're
I
doing.
don't know what you're doing over there, but listen.
Come over here right now. 'Cause
Come
I'm
here.
cooking, you know. Or Ray will call me, you all right? Or she'll text me, hey girl, what you doing? I'm like, how did you know?
Yeah,
What?
definitely.
See, that's that black girl magic right there.
You feel me? Like all linked up in that intertwined.
And it's appreciated. It is.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a water sign, so I kind of like.
I'm fire.
I'm Cancer, so I'm a moon baby. So when she got to talking about everything about the moon, I was kind of over here like, boy, if the moon ain't my secret weapon power.
Yeah.
But sometimes
The Cancerians rule that moon sign for real.
What are you?
Me, I'm a Capricorn.
Earth.
yeah.
I'm a Capricorn.
You're Earth, and I'm Fire.
And it makes
Wow.
sense because I'm so in tune
Yeah.
with the earth. I love being
Me
outside.
I guess we're just missing the air.
We're just missing the air.
There we
Malaya,
go.
what are you? A Libra. That's air, ain't it?
There we go.
There it
There
is.
you go. Look at
Completing the elements. That's what I'm saying. That's my daughter. Definitely. Okay, so Miss Omalate Day, right? Omalade.
Omilade.
Got
Omilade.
I'm good.
You're close.
That's
Okay.
beautiful though.
It is.
It's refreshing.
So, if you could tell the sisters, every sister in the world right now, one thing, what would it be?
It would be to live full out. To not believe that you are who you think you are. Transcend that name. Transcend that label at all costs. Never, ever live according to a limit. And that is the real journey of life. More than achievement, it is know who you are. When you know who you are, you cannot be stopped. And so I would say every day, challenge your limits. Challenge whatever the world has told you about yourself. Ask yourself, is this really true? And prove it right or wrong. But that's where we have been duped. We've been duped into believing that we are whatever the label is that you want to put on.
I agree with that.
Whatever that wound is, whatever city you from, whatever neighborhood you from, even about our gender, our skin color, where we're from in the world. It is all one big game, and we are here to play the game, to transcend the limits. It sounds so woo-woo, but if that's what everybody did, if every woman, if all of the sisters who are listening would say, I'm about to bust through these limits, I'm willing to let go of who I currently believe myself to be, all of us will get free. Every sister that removes one level of the lie will free another woman, because when one woman heals, it heals all of us.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Amen.
when one woman heals, she heals the women around her.
Every last one of us. Exactly.
I do.
Definitely.
And this is why it's a lie that three black women can't sit in a room together. That's a lie.
I know.
That's a lie. We love each other.
Yeah.
Because that was realization.
And we support one another. When we are allowed to do that, that's exactly what we do.
Right.
And the lie that we can't support one another, that we can't get along with one another, is a part of the game.
Right.
And so it's a beautiful thing, you know. Is it Diamond Life? I want to make sure I get the name right.
Diamond Life Radio.
This is beautiful.
Yes,
And to
ma'am.
hear you all getting along the way that you're getting along. And so, you know, just keep knowing who you are.
And I was going to say, too, every chance that you feel like you want to have something to say, I definitely can open up a spot for you on Diamond Life Radio where you can have a platform to be able to do your audio as well as your visuals, so that way, you know, you can reach more people, you know, and reach more ladies, you know, because that definitely, we need a lot of self-realization. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't think that a man can like actually create a baby or create life like that, because I mean they can, but it's a 50-50 deal, you know what I'm saying? So don't think that it's one great man and not one great woman that goes into creation when it goes with creating of life on Mother Earth. You know, it's not
You're
like
exactly
that.
right.
It's not like that.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
And I remember learning from my godmother. I don't know how much time we have, so don't.
No, baby,
don't
you got as much time as you need, honey.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to be in the rush.
I want to share this with you all then.
Please.
My godmother, Oshanike, I remember when she first introduced the concept that honestly, the feminine principle is the active principle. There is the receptive energy of women. You know, we have this softer energy to us because we have to be receptive to, you know, house that baby in our body. But there's this principle of, if you look at nature, it's feminine. Creation is feminine. And so this is part of that busting through the lies, the limits that we have on ourselves, that comes from, and I'm one that loves men, married, got sons,
yeah, me too,
nephews, all that kind of good stuff. So I don't bash men.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we all know we have this thing on us that sort of disempowers us, because God was he to so many of us. There are so many women who will reject God as she. It's ridiculous. And so, yes, I so agree with you that there cannot just be a he. That's ridiculous. That's not even how babies are made.
Yeah, it's like it's in everyday life. You feel me? You can't make even a plant can't even be born without a male and the female.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Stop playing. You know, so it's like common sense stuff that we see, that we know, but we still let people tell us something else. And we're like, bro, you tell us the sky is purple, but we know it's blue. We go outside and we looking at it right now, but you still tell us that it's purple. And it's still this little group of people over there that's going to believe them just because they said it's purple. It has to be purple.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
They will lie to us.
No, no.
And it's so interesting because once we really begin to understand the structure of the universe, it actually begins to help you to understand like where people are in their spiritual growth and development.
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody looks at the sky at 6 o'clock when the sun is going down, they may actually think the sky's purple, and they're going to try to tell everybody the sky's purple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we can grant them grace. It's like, well, they looked at the sky at 6 o'clock, they closed their eyes,
and then,
opened them back
sometimes
up.
you will look outside and the sky is kind of pinkish.
And the sky is pinkish.
Yeah.
When in all actuality, it's like,
just a
it all
different
depends on the
shade.
time of the day
Yeah.
that you looked at the sky or the
Or it's
weather.
really your personal perception.
Yes.
It's really all it boils down to.
And so when we take on other people's personal perceptions as truth, then this is how our goddess power, our feminine power gets covered up. And we're sitting here like, I don't have the power to do this, or I don't have the power to do that.
Like a brainwash.
When it's
And
just,
it's crazy.
we just bought
And-
into somebody else's perception.
And then,
That's all it is.
too, when the Bible tells you, if we go back to the Bible, it says that we are created in God's image. So if we created in God's image, that means we created in Jesus' image. That means all the gifts and all the powers that Jesus had, that we have those powers too, right?
Yes.
Certain
It's
people
true.
gonna argue you down that you don't have them powers because you're not Jesus. But if I'm created in His image, God dog it. Now you're not gonna tell me one thing and then want me to believe something else. Not me.
Brainwash.
Not me.
Yep. And
Not me.
it really just goes back to how tamed we all are,
Yeah. Yeah.
to the point where we will tame each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
And so the more we just say, you know what, I know that's how other folk operate, I make the choice for me to operate, even though I might have darts sent my way.
Mm-hmm.
People may not understand me.
Mm-mm.
I don't care. I'm not gonna self-tame. I'm not gonna let other people tame me.
Mm-mm.
I will stand in truth as truth is revealed through my spirit.
Come on now.
Can you?
That's what matters the most.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that last statement for the people in the back who didn't quite hear you clearly?
For the sisters in the back.
Just one more
All right, for
time.
my sisters in the back.
Yes,
Yeah,
our
What we have to
goddesses.
remember is
Yes.
this game is so cold
Cold.
that they will have us self-tame ourselves
Come on, man.
and have other folks taming us.
Come on, man.
But what we have to make the decision
Mm.
to do is to live according to what spirit from within me gives me.
It's called
Amen.
discernment.
And I'm going to tell you,
Personal discernment.
personal discernment, the way you know you are living tamed is you will be feeling like, I know it's something else out there. I know it's something different.
Come on.
But, they say it's not so. They say don't get no astrology readings. They say don't go get that
All I'm
reading
saying
with
is-
the psychic or the divine one.
You know what? It's crazy that see, I've always been kind of a little hard headed. You feel me? So when people tell me not to do something, they make me wonder why come you don't want me to do it. You feel me? And especially when I can look around in y'all life compared to my life, and you do it every day. You feel
Come
me?
on.
You get personal consultants every day from the top astrologers in the world. You hear me? But then you gonna tell me not to do it. Don't you use it. It's a sin.
It's called do as I say. not
It's
as
a
I do.
sin. Don't you do it. You gonna go to hell.
The math.
You know. Yeah, I feel like I'll just see you there then, buddy, if that's the case.
Exactly.
You know, a bit hard-headed. Like, you're going to have to show me. You feel me? You have to show me that it's going to be bad for me. But I know who I am, and I have a very discerning spirit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to question anything before I believe it off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
But
I
you're
know
taught-
what's for me and
you're
what's not
taught
for
to
me.
Question.
You
You're
know?
taught- you don't ask. You just.
I know what's for me and what's not for me when I get there, too, you know? So I know whether I'm supposed to keep listening or if I'm going to go on and turn, you know? But, yeah, when I'm
And you
tuned
know,
in,
if you really think about it,
it's been for the betterment. Like, I ain't tuned in to nothing wrong thus far. Everything been right. According
The
to,
wild women
according
are
to
the
that.
ones that change the world,
Yeah,
Carly.
yeah, yeah.
The wild women are the ones that change the world. So I've always vibed off sisters like you. I'm like, oh, she wild right there. That one right
turn
there.
up.
Amen.
Turn up. That's it.
Hmm.
Definitely, definitely. Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, sis.
I'll give y'all one more thing that
If you have 3-4 more things, we actually have 3 hours in this
You
show.
talking. As it comes to
So
you,
yeah,
you just
I mean,
unload.
you good.
Because I'm the baby.
was something I
I'm not
really
gonna
want to
mess.
put out there for the sisters.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is understanding the importance of following the oracles. First and foremost, we have our own inner oracle, which is our own wisdom guidance system. And so when you consult astrology or when you go get a reading from somebody, a lot of times it's just going to reflect what you always knew. I can't remember who said that, but she was like, I always sort of knew it was like that. But, you know, once I started hanging out with Carly, then it was like some confirmation coming through.
Right.
So a lot of times that's what the readings do for us. I have found that the more I share wisdom with women, the more they just walk in their power. So I'm going to share some wisdom with you all from this year.
Okay.
Something that I've been putting out in my inner circle and just sort of sharing on my social media channels. Because this 2020 has been so pivotal in a reset.
Yes.
It has been so pivotal in people moving to a place where whatever it is they need to release, they had no choice but to release it.
Yes.
See, this year didn't give us a choice.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, one of my favorite phrases from my Odu, which is out of my Nigerian or my Orisha oracle, Ifa oracle, it is called O'Shea. One of my favorite lines from O'Shea is, a new precedent must be established in order to achieve abundance. That is what 2020 has been about. And I'm asking everyone who is listening, what new precedent needs to be set in your life that you know you have not made? But spirit, your life, it is so evident you need to make this change. Is it a new relationship that you need to step into? Maybe it's a new relationship with yourself. Have you not taken action on that business, on that book, on going back to school, on enrolling in that class?
Come on now.
Have you neglected your health? That is something that especially the sisters, us Black and brown sisters, we get so busy taking care of everybody else.
Everybody else.
We have a precedent of lack of self-care. Maybe we need to set a new precedent of self-care.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So this year is about what new precedent needs to be established. And how do we implement this wisdom? Number one, we look at what needs to be changed. And every time we try to go back to our default, we say to ourselves, a new precedent must be established in order to achieve abundance. I can't keep doing the same thing expecting different results.
Right.
Girl, I've been preaching that to these people. Do you understand me? I've
You keep it
literally
right.
been preaching it to these people. Me and my sister, like, low-key fell out because I'm like, bro, you not tired of doing the same thing? You feel me? Like, you don't want to do something different? Like, you don't want to try something different? You might end up getting something different. Girl, come on.
You will.
Confirmation,
You will.
confirmation.
A new precedent must be established in order to achieve abundance. So I'm asking, who wants abundance out there? If you want abundance, you've got to do something new. Number two, all this disintegration we've been seeing around us, this thing is divine. There is an infinite wisdom of the universe. And I'm going to talk to you about how it is evident in your life as I am speaking right here, right now. So I'm going to ask you to think about, are you making yourself breathe? Did you digest your food today? Or did your body just do it for you? Your digestion, your kidneys, even your muscles, your entire body. You don't have to think about it. It just does what it does. That is the infinite wisdom of the universe, proving that it is here in you. Now, that same infinite wisdom of the universe also makes the sun set and rise and set. The moon does what the moon does, the air, the trees, the water,
planets, the comets,
the planets,
the suns, everything.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
So why would that infinite wisdom not be in charge
Come on, man.
of 2020?
Come on. It has to
Folks
be.
losing their mind over 2020. 2020's been hard. I'm not taking that from nobody. This has been a rough year.
But you got to know that it has to be in a place of transformation. For the world to stop all of a sudden and be like, George Floyd got killed out of
The
9 million black men, unarmed black
on.
men that have been killed since the beginning of time. This one man made a difference. You got to know it's divine intervention.
Amen.
The-
What else
Divine
can it
intervention.
be? What else can it be?
Because think about it. The difference was this. The whole world has stopped and was able to take note. Typically, we so go, go, go. A new president must be established in order to achieve abundance. The infinite intelligence of the universe said, everybody getting ready to stop. Everybody getting ready to see what's always been there, because y'all need to fix this.
Yeah.
Right? So if the infinite wisdom of the universe will run our bodies, will make that sun that we never really give any credit to, no thanks to. How many wake up in the morning and be like, wow, the sun did what it always does.
The sun doing its
Right.
thing.
Right.
But, the sun is rising and setting. Who can do that? Not any of us. Why would we not trust the infinite wisdom of the universe to carry us through 2020? This is by divine design.
Forever. The rest of forever.
And so a new precedent must be established. The time is prime. Let go of all the old so that you can step into the new.
We got to, bro.
That's what 2020 is about.
Can I say
But we got to trust.
Can I say something to that? Letting go of the old.
Please.
Sometimes
Please.
you think you thought you let go of everything. Because I'm the example of that right now. Like, I thought all the doors had been bust open, honey.
Yeah, right.
I took that broom and I got all that cobweb in the room.
Yeah, you
But it was one little piece that was still hanging
And you ain't
from the
even
ceiling.
know.
I ain't see it. You know,
Yeah.
just little dust fell on it.
Yeah,
So I'm going through that now, but I'm appreciative of that process.
gotta be.
Because some of us don't realize we're going through it.
Yeah.
We're going through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was blessed, and also to have people surrounding me to help me say, Angel, no, just sit back
Just sit back.
and open your eyes, because
Mm-hmm.
just blow that fog out the way just one time. And I had to do that. And sometimes it hurts, but like you were saying, pretty much stand in your truth, be real with yourself. And
It is what it is.
And it is what it is. At the same time, don't focus on that. Focus
Yeah.
on the new.
Yeah.
My grandmother always said, ain't no such thing as a rear view mirror in life. Once you're back there,
That's
what
that.
she looking
That-
back
yeah.
for. She said that's how your wall gets built. So when you turn around, remember I was telling you, why am I turning around? And it's like I'm hitting a brick wall because my nose, I feel like I have no skin left.
Yeah.
I'm tired. And it took
So-
me, going through some things to realize that. So
Let's go back to the moon.
Come on, Mom.
So in the goddess
Come on,
tradition, we work with what is called the spiral.
Okay.
And so when we think about the moon cycles, there's the new moon, the waxing phase, the full moon, the waning phase, back to the new moon. Okay. So let's say we thought we had cleared away all the cobwebs. Well, with the goddess cycle, we keep going through that moon cycle. right? And so the way we don't ever get tricked into just thinking, okay, they're all clear, is because we always cycle back to that waning moon phase where we stop and we say, what do I need to release and let go of? But see, with the spiral,
And that's why I come
every
always
round goes
so
higher
have
and
those-
higher.
Let me just-
And so this is why I started with the 4 keys to self-mastery, because when we're thinking about awareness, we're staying aware of the cycle, which allows us to stay aware of, okay, wait a minute, there's one cobweb I actually did not see the last time, so I need to make sure I get this one this time with awareness.
Come on, new
And
moon.
so,
Come on, new
Come
moon.
on. Thank you.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is how we stay on top of it. And we always know you're working with the cycles. This is the goddess path. We're always working with the cycles. We plant the seed, we take action, we give birth to that thing, or we have an illumination of something that needs to be released and let go. We let go of it, and then we plant the seed again. It's just season after season, month after month. We're planting the seed, we're working our crops, but the crop is internal. And so this is why no goddess should ever beat up on herself. Once she learns the cycles and starts living according to the cycles, then she just realizes, oh, I hit a bump in the road. I wasn't fully aware. I'm aware now. I have tools to work with. And so, yeah.
Man,
It's
we
all
over
good.
here- Girl, listen, we are over here like cracking up like, oh my God, we gotta listen. But we so hard-headed, let me tell you.
I was crying earlier. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
called myself writing a book already.
No,
So
but good tears. Good tears.
I'm literally writing
Okay,
a book
good.
over all of this, and it's like, I know, and it's so hard. Like, I know, but, like, we need, okay,
Gotta
so
take the butt
I have
out.
a question. Do you have any tips, right, for those of us who know the process and who are working on implementing the changes that are necessary,
Come on.
but still find ourselves doing the same old stuff that we're not supposed to do? Like, is it a meditation that we need to do what do we need to do, honey? Can you
Okay.
Okay, like a newbie like myself. What would you recommend? Starting
Hold on,
off
let her
with?
answer me first.
Well, it's like it's a two process.
Okay, go.
Okay, so one of the things that I think is important
Lord, y'all.
is to understand
We gonna
that,
do
and
better
it
after
goes
today,
back to
watch.
those 4
We gonna do
keys that I was talking about,
Yeah.
devotion.
Mm-hmm.
What my godfather used to ask us is, how devoted are you to your spiritual practices, right?
Ooh.
And so when you realize, you know what, I'm not very devoted. Like, I've been trying this thing for 2 years. Like, seriously, I'm not perfect. I realized, wait a minute, why don't I meditate? Like, I know I should meditate, right?
No.
Now, then that becomes the question. What is it in me that I can get to get myself to meditate every day? And that becomes the journey.
Okay.
The thing that happens is we're like, it didn't work out, so I'm just going to do what feels right. And so it's really about understanding human nature to a certain degree, that we have what I call inside of me, I give it my own name, a negative Nancy.
Girl, I use
She like,
that.
Exists.
Don't you know?
Girl, why
I
are you
use
trying to meditate?
That lady real.
Don't you
Why
know?
you-
She real.
Girl, that has to be a real person,
She
because
real.
no book. I use that like straight up. Negative Nancy.
Wow.
You negative
Wow.
Nancy.
She exists. That lady real.
Yeah.
She gotta be,
Oh,
man. Negative
Yep.
Nancy. Come on, man. Okay, yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
And so negative Nancy, you have to say, okay, hold up, chick.
Yeah.
I need to meditate. All right. And you blocking me from doing what I know I need to do.
Negative Nancy.
So my next goal is to get negative Nancy either to turn into what I call Miss Missy, or I'm just not going to listen to you. Heifer, you're going to be quiet. That's when I start calling her Heifer. Heifer, you're going to be quiet. All right?
Yeah.
Because I'm finna go sit down here on this mat. And I'm going to meditate. I don't care if I meditate 5 minutes. I don't have to sit down here for an hour. Didn't nobody tell me I had to meditate 60 minutes. I'm getting my 5 minutes of meditation on. And then what ends up happening is...
that 5 minutes going to turn into 10.
Exactly. Because your inner goddess realizes the healing that you're getting from it. And so the question that you always say to yourself is, how devoted am I to this really? People will scratch and claw for their limitations, and where they will not fight for the things that will set them free.
Come on, sister.
One more time. Can you say that?
Good, don't you know it's the truth, honey?
In the back.
People will scratch and they will claw and they will argue for their limitations instead of embracing the very thing that will set them free. They will reject the thing that will set them free and embrace the thing that imprisons them.
Don't you know it?
And so what we have to do is we have to make a conscious choice because we're powerful beyond measure. We have to make a conscious choice for that which will set us free. The other thing is just admit, I'm okay with being caged in because at least you're making the choice. I don't like feeling
but
like,
who wants
well,
to be okay? Look, I'm looking at like how I couldn't picture myself saying, you know what, Carlisha, fuck it, I'm okay with being caged in. Stay caged.
But wait, what am I being caged into?
Man, I ain't being caged into too much of nothing.
It could be caged into positivity or, working within, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at a positive side of
the initial thought, when somebody say you caged in, when you caged, that means to me, I'm being held somewhere where I really don't want to be at.
But that's not always necessarily the case. I'm trying to find the positive side of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, think of it this way. Think of it this way.
Okay,
the positive side
patty.
is this.
Peppermint patty too.
The positive side is this. How many of us didn't know we were caged in? See, that to me is the thing. It's just like in the movie The Matrix. Neo knew something wasn't right.
Yes.
But he didn't quite know what it was. When he woke up from that pod, oh my God. And so all I'm saying is if we can just awaken to, I'm tamed.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, at least I know that's the case. I'm not just walking around here blindly accepting what people are telling me. I'm choosing to wake up and realize, oh my God, I'm tamed. Because when you recognize that, then you can say, when I'm ready to make a change, I will.
I can. Yeah, because I know.
And it makes you not feel so disempowered because here we keep trying week after week after week and we feel like we keep failing. But it's just once you make that choice, nobody can stop you. And as long as you just don't buy into I'm a failure, I can't do this. Because that's part of the taming. If it's just like right now, I just don't have the willpower. I haven't figured out the solution. So I'm just admitting I'm doing this. So my example was sugar addiction. I could not freaking figure out why am I addicted to sugar. And finally, I just said, you know what? I just need to accept it's just a coping mechanism for me. That's it. And so I started judging myself. And then once I start judging myself so much, I was able to finally find the way out of sugar addiction. And so it's empowering to admit I'm making this choice to do something I know is really not in my best interest. I'm making the choice. Because that means you're walking in your power, even though it may be something that's not in your best interest. When you make it up in your mind, you're going to move in a different direction, nobody can stop you. But if you just walking asleep, you don't even know that you're living under, being tamed or whatever. So that's how I see it. I think that as long as we realize we are in power, we are creating our story. But there's so many tools. There is your womb. There is your soul. There is nature. There is, getting readings from trusted people, of course. A community, just hearing you all, I realize there's so much community there. I think that iron sharpens iron with women. Right. So being in community with people who are like, I'm not going to accept you operating less than who who you really are. And you see other people like, I'm stepping up outside of, y'all remember The Wiz, when they unzip themselves out of those little suits?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Every time you see a sister unzip that suit and she steps out of it and that body is all strong and tight and beautiful and she's dancing like they were dancing once they came out, it will make you say, you know what, if she did it, I can too. So this is another thing that we need to do. We need to make sure that we stay devoted to our spiritual awakening, our spiritual practices. And we also need to be in community with other women who are like, I'm on fire for waking up.
Come on.
And when you see someone else do it, and that's what it's been for me. I've seen other women wake up. It's like, shoot, she did it. I can do it.
Yes.
You know? And then the last thing I'll say is believe in your destiny.
Yeah.
Like, don't let anybody doubt you. This is one of the reasons I love astrology so much and divination in general. Because the more I begin to look at my chart, the more I realize, oh, I'm a weirdo. Like, I came here to...
I am too, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm to the max.
It makes sense why they consider
My daughter even told me, she was like, man, why come I can't have a normal mama? Like,
my kids have said that.
Yeah. She's like, and she mean it. And every day she be like, are you okay? Like, nah, for real. Because I think you losing it. Like,
I love it. I love it.
They call me the conspiracy theorist. I was like, whatever you want out, that's
I'm definitely
fine,
that too.
Yeah, okay.
I love it.
Yeah, it's all right though.
So yeah, the more you believe in your destiny and embrace who you are, I think a lot of women need more clarity that who they know they are is really who they are, and they should do that. But it does take support. It does take, encouragement. I can't begin to explain the number of years I've been working to get to a place where I'm just like, forget it. I don't know when my last day is. I'm just going to go full out. I don't care. I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So I just got a little confirmation too. It says super new moon in Virgo, taking care of your body. So
see,
Yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, so can you put a little emphasis on that too? Because in next month too, it's a super blue moon, right?
I heard about that.
So can you give us some little insight on the super new moon? What does a super new moon entail?
To be honest with you, in astrology, they don't really emphasize that. I think that a super moon is, hold on, let me just double check. Yes, just what I thought. There's 2 full moons in October. Oh yeah, and there's 2 full moons this month. Well, no. There's 2 full moons in October. So that's what the super full moon is all about, because full moons bring so much energy. And so when we have 2 of them in 1 month, that's what makes it super.
Okay.
The full moon to me in October, that first one in Aries, is going to be on fleek, because
we have a full moon in Aries. That's my sun sign. So that's going to do what?
That is going to be on the 1st of October in Aries.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. Oh, Lord, anyways. But if it was just a full moon in Aries, it's like, wow, y'all, get ready. It's finna be on, right?
Yeah, anyway.
But Mars is retrograde.
Yep.
In Aries.
Mars rules Aries.
Mars rules Aries, and we're gonna have a full freaking moon.
We gotta turn up though. I'm going full effect. Like, it's gonna be like my birthday.
Yeah. So I think that moon right there is one. I'm going to tell y'all what I feel the rest of this year is about.
Come
It's
on.
really about getting
I receive it.
what you want ready
Yeah.
for, like laying the foundation for
Preparing
2021.
for next year, because next year is
said
the
this 2
year.
months ago.
You feel me? Yeah, next year we already said that anyway. We've been said
We
that.
planted that
We've
seed.
been said that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Touch and agree.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a question as well.
It's gonna be
of
great
course,
for all
another
of us,
newbie one.
Go ahead. Babe.
I came across as I was researching Orisha's, Carlisha. She's been my brain on this. So she said, "You're gonna have to research though."
Yeah, you
because
gotta
the
look
journey
up
is your own.
yourself, right?
But I'm like, but I'm coming across words. I know I've heard you say before, so I need more information. And I came across a book. I haven't purchased it yet, but Carlisha told me, well, hold on, Angel, because when the interview comes with you, Miss Tyra, she wanted me to bring it up and maybe ask if you have your opinion on it, or maybe other books that, people like myself, because I am a book reader, okay? I'm old school, because I get the feel from sitting down and taking the time.
It's not old.
Oh, new. Well, today is old because everything's on the internet. However, I like to feel the paper and feel So anyway, it's by Lilith Dorsey. It's called Orishas, Goddesses, and Voodoo Queens: The Divine Feminine in the African Religious Traditions. Have you heard of this book or read it? Or if not, are there other books or resources that you would recommend for like newbies like me who are trying to, figure their path and learn more?
Yes. Okay. First of all, no, I have not heard that book, but it sounds amazing.
Okay. We can share it with you off air. We got you.
Yes, please do. And what I'm going to tell you is one of the reasons I like the sound of that book is I don't really want to be boxed into a religion. People scratch and claw to become a part of Ifa, only to realize, you just got to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I love mixing African with the goddess tradition. That just works for me. So that's one of the reasons I love the sound of that book. For a newbie, what I would recommend is whatever you do, look to see how much of it helps you to understand yourself. That's the only thing that matters. Do you know who you are? That's what the religions and the traditions really should be leading, more clarity. So when you read something and you're like, wow, I always thought this, and it's in this book where this lady doesn't know me, like she's never been in my head, but it sounds exactly like what I believe. That's a sign. That's confirmation on your own inner wisdom. That is what you're wanting. You're wanting to reconnect so that you can trust yourself, so that you can trust guidance. And then you will know what steps to make, what steps to take, what direction to go into. But the only thing that I would recommend is whatever you do, it should peel away layers of lies and only expose the truth. You want to step into illumination, self-illumination. That's the only thing that matters. Self-realization, self-mastery. So when you read the book, it's not so much about what does this tradition teach. It's about how can I use what I'm learning to unlock the truth within me. That is how I would approach it. If I had to start over again, if somebody ever gave me the best wisdom, it would be only do what it takes to know who you are. I can tell you so many people are like, what's this ritual to work with Oshun? And they have done that ritual and they got no results in their lives. If the ritual is for you to know Oshun within you, then that is a good ritual. If the ritual is to help you to understand what does Oshun mean in your life, which means you should be able to create whatever you want, black girl magic, then that is a good ritual. But there's some people, they know black girl magic, never heard of Oshun, but they're in touch with their inner Oshun because they know who they are. Because that's really all that matters, y'all. Do you know who you are?
Yes, indeed.
And so I say read the book, understanding that the book is really reflective of what is within you.
Definitely.
That is what I would offer to a newbie. Don't conform.
Don't conform, you guys.
Don't conform.
Yeah.
I never teach conformity. I teach freedom. You know, Michael Beckwith, I would recommend Spiritual Liberation by Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. And one of the reasons I love Spiritual Liberation and just works by Dr. Beckwith is because he understands our Western mindset. I'm a proud Afro.
Dr.
Beckwith.
With.
I'm a proud Afro.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all.
Me too.
We over here in the West.
Me too.
All right. At the end of the day, we need to hear somebody who speaks a language that we understand, so we can get our subconscious moving in the right direction.
Right.
All right. And so I love Spiritual Liberation by Dr. Michael Beckwith. That's one of my main books that I recommend to newbies. And one of the things that he says is, we're not here to get high, we're here to get free.
Ooh, yes. In all caps.
So that's,
I'm sorry.
every book you read, has this book helped you to get more free? That's the only thing that matters.
Right.
Because you might be here to be Buddhist, and I might come here to be a part of Ifa. It's not about conforming to anything, but most of us are hearing the call for Africa because we, in the United States especially, when we're talking this Orisha tradition, what the spiritual teachers who have come before us have said is that our Orisha for the United States especially are the ancestors. That is our primary Orisha. And if we think about our ancestors, how many of them need healing? Until we heal our ancestors, we are going to find that we are stuck in our stumble.
Can you give us tips on how to heal our ancestors? I think this was the first video that I seen. Oh no, the second one. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So one of the main things is to honor the ancestors through just saying, good morning, ancestors. Hello, ancestors. I know you're there. I can't see you. The crazy priestess, Tyrone Milade, said you're here. So I'm just going to go on ahead and just do what this crazy lady said and talk to y'all.
Yeah.
But y'all already know your ancestors are there, because sometimes you feel like your grandma, your auntie, your granddad, somebody that is in the ancestral realm. You're like, they came to me in my dream, or they've been on my mind. Like, I felt like they were around me. All of us have had this experience.
Oh, yes. Every day.
And so it's just about consciously connecting with them. And so waking up in the morning, greeting your ancestors of light. Good morning, ancestors. I say it every morning. Good morning, ancestors of light. I love you. Thank you for letting me stand on your shoulders. And I ask you to be a lamp before me. Light my path before me. Show me the steps to take, ancestors. I give you thanks today, right here, right now.
Ancestors of light.
The other thing you can do is you can say, to my dark, deceased ancestors, and we all got them now. To my dark, deceased ancestors, you cannot hang around me. But I send you on your way with light and love towards your healing. And then, step 3, heal yourself. Because when one woman heals her womb, it heals all the wombs that come before her.
Right.
Heal yourself. That is the best way to heal the ancestors. But of course, during Halloween, a Scorpio season, Scorpio moon, these are times that we can send deep healing to our ancestors. in a conscious way. You can light a white candle.
Oh,
You can
so
pour
on
libation.
Halloween, we could do like, ooh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's all I like.
Yeah.
That's the white candle.
Cause we got okay. So this year we decided to have like our chapter Halloween party. You know, Halloween is on the Saturday. You know, this year. So I think we
And there's a moon. There's a full
Yes.
moon.
and it's a
Yes.
full moon, so we can actually send a lot of healing to our ancestors. We probably could go on and heal the generation.
Might as well, as much as we can.
Ashe.
And
Oh,
Shay,
yes.
and Shay, and Shay.
Oh, I accept it.
Let's
yes.
do it. I'm with it.
I-
Okay.
Miss
High
Tyra,
five.
Goddess Tyra, Sister Tyra, you Sister Tyra to me, if that's okay.
I love that.
I am feeling all of that positive energy through
Definitely.
the line. I accept everything that
Yes,
you're putting
definitely.
out.
Ashe.
And white candles are all that I like,
Yeah.
Mm.
honestly.
Yeah.
Because
I
I feel
love
like
that.
we live in a world with so much darkness.
Yeah.
We need as much
White
light,
candle.
white light as possible. That's
Ashe.
what I feel. So
Mhm.
I do accept all that. I have chills all over my body. From
Yeah, me too.
I give thanks.
Yes,
I
yes,
give
like
thanks.
I do every day.
Yes,
Ooh,
indeed.
see, we need more of
Yeah,
this.
we need this
Can
at
we make
least
this a
once a
weekly?
month
Like
or
to send
twice
her a
or
candle?
every.
We need a weekly.
Look,
Can we do a
Ray said she has to send you a candle.
I would love that.
That's another question, newbie, that I have here.
She said no.
Speaking of dreams, you
Yes.
know how they say, oh, you know, the ancestors come to you in the dreams, or you dream this or that, or in dream interpretation, how, because sometimes you can look at it one way and it is like the total opposite. So
Mhm.
what should a person look for? Like, I know it always, to me, dreams are a deeper meaning, sometimes a warning
Yeah.
from your ancestors.
You're right.
And they're all different. So I guess, how do you properly interpret it without information overload? You know what I mean? Like, without
Yeah.
getting confused as to where I can't even find the words. I think you
No,
understand.
you have found the words. You asked,
Yeah, you
asked
did.
the question perfectly.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So what I would do, number one, is definitely write the dreams down. I think it's important to write down your dream as
Okay.
soon as you wake up is the best way, but as soon as you can, write the dream down on paper without censoring what's coming out. Just write it down.
Okay.
And you could potentially ask people to tell you, what do you get from this dream? You know, women that you trust. Don't ask folks that they not into this. We don't ask them.
Right.
But you know, the sisters here. This is what I dreamt. What do you get from this dream? Right? And you just allow people to kind of give you feedback on the dream. And a lot of times the way we do it is we would say, well, if it was my dream, it would mean this or that. You can do research online
Mm-hmm.
and ask, you know, let's say there was an animal. I remember one time I had a dream about a bear.
Mm-hmm. I did
And
too.
so when I
Me
looked
too.
up what this means in the animal totem book,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about understanding that I would be healing my subconscious.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm working on in my life right now.
Yeah.
Healing my subconscious, learning how to work with my
It
subconscious
wasn't that
mind.
long ago either when I had my bad dream.
Mine too, actually.
Yeah.
It was maybe within the last 2 months.
I was gonna say yeah, probably like a couple of months ago.
So the bear was in a lot of our dreams. And the question is, what's in your subconscious? So when we were talking about why do we keep sabotaging ourselves? What's in our subconscious? Because our subconscious has a perfect memory.
Come on.
And if we're not aware of the programs that are in our subconscious, then we'll find ourselves doing all kinds of stuff without even thinking about it.
True. It's so true.
And so that's what the bear has meant for me. I looked it up to see, what does this bear mean? Now, the other thing about dreams is sometimes we are going to be working through what we experience in our waking state. We'll work through it in our dream state. And so we can ask ourselves, okay, is there something I'm not actually dealing with in my waking state? And so it's like having to work itself out in my dream state. Is that really what this is? Because you have to look at what is the energy of it. Like, how did it make me feel? If you feel fearful, then the question I would say or ask you is, what are you fearful in your life? What fear are you not addressing in the waking state? If it was a dream where you felt angry, then I would look through my day. Where am I not expressing my anger? I'm just not expressing this when I should. And so then that's where we start saying, okay, what are the spiritual practices I need in order to voice what it is I feel without apology? So it's sort of like this great loop. You have the dream, you sort of can figure out, okay, maybe it's a sign that I need to do something. And so let's say it's to express anger. Mm-hmm. So now this is giving you information on how to set up your spiritual practice. Okay, so I need to be working on, I'm mad at somebody in my life. Maybe I need to do a releasing ritual, do some type of forgiveness ritual. And so then you start figuring out, what is that ritual going to be? How long am I going to do that ritual? So the dream state is a very beautiful place. And of course, the dreams, sometimes we have great things come to us in our dreams. We couldn't figure out the solution because our mind was working so hard, and instead it came to us in the dream. Yeah. And so we wake up, we write the solution down, or maybe it's part of the solution. And once we write it down, it completely triggers the rest of the solutions, like the floodgates come open. And now we have the whole plan laid out before us. Mm-hmm. So, the dream state is a really rich place. It's where our consciousness can go and connect with our ancestors, our guides. It's like a beautiful space. And the more we set ourselves up to have good rest, to go to sleep in a really good state, the better answers and solutions we can get from that dream state. It is important for us to go into deep sleep every day, though, because it's very healing. A lot of us suffer from lack of sleep. We have problems just due to lack of sleep. If we got more sleep, these problems would not exist. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say to you as a newbie with the dream state. Allow it to kind of be a guide. Okay. When you have these dreams come through.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great question.
Anything else?
We could be on here for about 18 hours.
I know. Yeah, I'll have to get off in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
thank you.
You can go ahead and let the listeners know how they can get in touch with you.
Awesome. I will give my main portal where you can find me is my website, goddessbodymindspirit.com. Yes. And there you can find my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube. You can get on my mailing list. And actually, for the newbies out there, on my website is a webinar that I put together about how to have a thriving spiritual practice. It is perfect for newbies. Okay. I have a membership site. That's how Carly and I are connected more deeply, even though I know she watches my videos on YouTube. But I do have a membership site that is a community. I share wisdom and just all the things that y'all ask about. These are the kinds of things I share on a regular basis within the membership. I do readings if you want readings. But definitely check out that webinar on how to have a thriving spiritual practice. To me, that's more important than anything. That is life.
That is life. Thank you so much for all that information. You guys,
it's my honor.
Go to the website.
Yes, ma'am. Once again, thank you very much, and reach out to me. We're here. Whatever you want to do.
Yes.
Yes, Carly, when you get a chance, just contact me, and we'll see about setting up a schedule. I've enjoyed this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Y'all take care. Happy new moon.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Peace.